I just rebooted the computer now. Remember, on the screen, right mouse click and choose Reboot PC. And then enter again the login name, which is Picker, P-I-C-K-E-R, and the password, which is Spot. Then the software is fired up and we end up with this dialog box on screen. I will now choose a default image. I go to gel type here. If I double click, go to pick list decider. I take the list which is mentioned marks here. U87 gel2 marks.tif, and I will load this, open this image. And as soon as the image is open, again the software asks me for the picking list, which is, because there is only one, it's highlighted, and I choose the picking list. Now I will be able to continue by putting a micro title plate into the system. Just take your micro title plate and plug it in here, and it's done, it's fixed. Now we can continue with the rest of the hardware installation, install the rail, and understand how you will be able to pick the spot, how to have the good precision, and so on. After all these steps, we will learn how to place a real gel and start a real picking. To finish the installation, we now have to install the Y rail on the system and the Z rail. As the Y rail is like that, we just unpack it, and the way to push it into the X rail is to go from the left. Notice then the screw, the locking screw here must be on, facing you on the bottom, and you just introduce on both sides, and then it must freely move on the rail. The system by design avoid that you change the position by pushing on this side of the rail. You need to push on this side to have a free movement. Now if we install the other rail, the last rail, this picker head supports the different type of picker, the 1.5 and the 3 millimeters. Thus, we push the picker head from any side, from the top or from the bottom, inside, and you see it moves freely as well. And there is a locking position here. You can lock when you will see that when you position the picker head, you lock it. Thus, you just have to unlock by a quarter of a turn, and it's enough. Just unlock, and then it will move freely, and you can lock it by just a quarter of a turn in both directions. Unlock, lock. Unlock, lock. Now it's locked, just unlock. The picker is positioned inside this picker head. Just this is the picker we used. I'll show you how the picker is working. You have here a position when you can go up and down. Okay, this picker has two positions. You put the picker inside. I zoom in to show you better. You see that there is a spot highlighted, spot 2001, if I see well. I will position the picker on it just to show you how it works. Just you move it in order to have the picker almost at the right position. And then you have to, you do that normally without the picker. You move to this position, and you have to align
the crosshair that you see on the top here, the crosshair which is on the second plate here, and the cross that you see on the gel itself or on the image on the gel, they should be perfectly aligned to each other. I will try to do that and show you in a minute how it works. And you use both directions. I recommend that you move it, for instance, like this. It should be almost positioned in one direction. I lock it, that I move it in a second direction, and so on. We will check and lock, and we will check. Now you see that the three lines have been perfectly aligned. You just close one eye, of course, and check that the three crosshair are perfectly aligned on each other. What I show you right now is a misalignment where only the two crosshair from the plastic support are aligned in one direction. In X direction it's aligned, in Y direction it's not aligned. Thus the way to change it is to unlock and to move it, that they are now again perfectly aligned. Okay, there we go. The next thing to do now is to introduce the picker. The picker is exactly positioned above the spot to pick, as you can see. The only thing you have to do is move down the black part of the picker, like that, and you rotate one turn to cut the acrylamide. Then you remove the picker and you just dispense into the position highlighted by the microtiter plate. In this case it's B2, and you push on the, as you see, by pushing on the button on top of the screen, you will release your plug into the microtiter plate. Remember that we fill the microtiter plate first with all wells with water, enough water in order to be able to dispense the plug into the water directly. Otherwise the plug may glue or be glued on the walls of the well, and it will be difficult later on. Thus I prefer to put water first and then we dispense into the water. After each plug you need to rinse your picker inside distilled water or millicue water, just 2 types, and it's enough. There will be no cross-contamination at all.